Root to Rise gives Dane County High School students a chance to find direction and confidence. Each day in the classroom, Root to Rise tutors work with young children, building the kind of trusting connection kids naturally respond to. As one student shared, Root to Rise changed my life. When I started, I didn't care about school and didn't think I'd graduate, but working with younger kids changed everything. I got more confident and wanted to do better. Support Root to Rise today at roottorise.org. That's root, the number 2, rise.org. Madison Community Foundation helps donors support the community and the causes you care about most. With philanthropic expertise and personalized guidance, Madison Community Foundation makes it easy to achieve charitable giving goals. Whether you choose a specific field of interest, open a donor-advised fund, or create a legacy that will last for generations, Madison Community Foundation is here to help every step of the way. Make your gift today. Learn more at madisongives.org/giving. This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Today, it's the Friday News Roundup, and this first Friday News Roundup of the month, we've got some exciting personal, professional news. Before we get to it, let me first introduce who's joining today, our executive producer, Haley Sperling. Hey, Haley.
Hi, Bianca. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And our producer, Jade Isiri Ramos. Hey, Jade.
We survived this week. Look at us.
Here we go. And what's the news, the personal professional? Should we share it with the group?
Do it.
Yeah, let's go.
We're kicking off our final membership drive of the year next week. The news is out, y'all, which means you are going to hear all about CityCast Madison neighbors, which is going to be really fun. If you've already heard about it, yay. Now you can become more of an evangelist. If you haven't, this is the first time. CityCast Madison Neighbors is an amazing membership program for us and for you that directly supports the work we do. So it comes with some sweet perks like ad-free listening, members-only events, our weekly events newsletter, and if you join during this campaign, some special swag, which this time around, drum roll please. Tongue roll. It's a beanie, which is perfect for all the winter months. It is so cold. So even if you have beanies, how about you put 3 or 4 or 5 on, but make sure CityCast Madison's beanie is on top. Y'all, you hear all about CityCast Madison neighbors on our Friday News Roundups, and you're going to hear about it every day next week. But if you want to skip ahead to the good part, aka to the beanie, you could sign up today, get it in advance, get it before anyone else, and claim all of these benefits. How do you do that? Head to membership.citycast.fm for more. And we say it every week when we give our membership shoutouts on the Roundup, but CityCast Madison neighbors are really one of the secret sauces and the glue that holds us together. They're the folks who are deeply invested in seeing Madison thrive. And for that, we are so thankful. If you want to join our neighborhood, and we hope you do, and get that beanie, head to membership.citycast.fm. Okay, y'all, let's dig into some news around Madison and the state. I'm kicking us off this week. The governor's race expanded. I don't know. Who knows? People are happy, people are mad. You know, c'est la vie. The latest candidate, former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, threw his hat in the ring this Tuesday with an announcement video. That video focused on the affordability crisis facing Wisconsinites. It had a pro-union message and an anti-Washington / the current administration message, saying that Barnes is looking to be a reality check on what people need here in Wisconsin and would be a contrast to the chaos coming out of Washington. So as background, if you don't know Mandela Barnes and his name, he was the former lieutenant governor for Governor Tony Evers under his first term. And then most recently, he ran an unsuccessful campaign for Senate in 2022. It was very narrow against Republican Senator Ron Johnson. So that's the latest from him, and now he's running for governor. Y'all, are you surprised by Barnes throwing his name in the ring? What do you think about this development?
Absolutely no surprises here. I guess my big surprise is that, I feel like this is a name that we have not been talking about for a while. There have been some others that were thrown around. I'm thinking back to your conversation, Bianca, with Kristen Bryan, Steve Scafidi. You know, they were talking about Missy Hughes. We were talking about Francesca Hong and whatnot. And Mandela Barnes didn't really come up, but he's always kind of been there. it makes a lot of sense. No surprises here.
Yeah, I'm curious about the sort of weight in comparison to the other candidates. Obviously, it's still early, but I expected him to come out as one of the first or second candidates. And so then when he didn't, I was like, oh, he's not running.
Yeah, he added a little spicy intrigue because that was kind of the question. He came up in that conversation later on, which was like, who might still jump into the race? Now he's here. So, that's why we're talking about him. But, for the other people who've already joined the race on the Democratic side, there's Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, Madison State Senator Kelda Roys, Madison State Representative Francesca Hong, and former Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation CEO Missy Hughes. So that's on the Dem side. And there are two Republican candidates, Tom Tiffany and Josh Schoeman, at this point. So that's the full pool. And I think, if calling back and, folks go back and listen to that conversation with Kristen Bryan and Steve Scafidi, if you want to kind of hear more about this candidate pool. But the thing that came up then, and I think everyone's talking about now, is the thing that Mandela Barnes has that the others don't is statewide name recognition, right? So in his race against Ron Johnson, he lost only by 1 point. So he's done a statewide race and hundreds of thousands of people know his name, and the other candidates don't quite have that. Also, there was a poll that came out before Barnes entered the race that was done by a conservative public relations firm, Platform Communications, that had Barnes ahead of current Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who's been kind of argued as the most highly recognized name amongst the lesser known names. And in that poll, he was ahead by 8 percentage points. So I don't know if you guys have any sense of how Barnes might play. There's some arguments that people on the Democratic side maybe didn't want him to run, like you already had a chance, but he was also really close. What are you guys thinking about him?
I totally forgot that Senate race was that close, I guess. 2022, I guess I have that blocked out of my mind. But that is a really
When was 2022? Yesterday?
10 years ago,
2 years
ago. But that is a really good point, right? He does already have that statewide recognition, but also he's had that statewide recognition from being lieutenant governor. I feel like he is a candidate to watch, but as you mentioned, Bianca, it's a really crowded pool already on the Democratic side specifically. So how are folks going to stand out? We'll wait and see how that goes, right?
Yeah, and something I had forgotten, watching his campaign video was he also was in the state legislature. So that's kind of some of his experience. And it was a very pro-union message. It starts out with him wearing his dad's union jacket. And it'll be really interesting. It'll be really interesting. But guess what? The election is still next year. It's a little bit of ways. The governor's primary is August 11th, and the general election is November 3rd. Looking forward to interviewing all the candidates, hopefully on the show, Barnes included, a little bit closer to the election. So that's that. That's the bigger news of the week. And we've got more news to get to. But before we do, let's take a quick break. Root to Rise helps Dane County high school students, especially those who haven't yet found joy in their education, get on a stronger path by supporting young children in elementary classrooms across Dane County. Each day, they sit beside kids during reading and math, answering questions, offering encouragement, and building the kind of trusting connection children naturally respond to. Teachers notice it right away. They call these teens, quote, extra hands, extra voices, and extra leaders, and say classrooms feel more productive with them there. And for many students, this becomes a turning point. As one shared, Root to Rise changed my life. When I started, I didn't care about school and didn't think I'd graduate, but working with younger kids changed everything. I got more confident, and I wanted to do better for them and for myself. If you believe in giving young people a strong path forward, please consider making a Giving Tuesday gift at roottorise.org. That's root, the number 2, rise.org. Four Seasons Theater presents The Hello Girls, a new American musical. It's an uplifting new musical inspired by history that chronicles the story of America's first women soldiers. These intrepid heroines served as bilingual telephone operators on the front lines. They helped turn the tide of World War I and pave the way for future generations of women in the armed forces. Ready to feel empowered? The Hello Girls runs December 11th through the 21st. That's Thursdays and Fridays Fridays at 7:30 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. at the Playhouse at Overture Center. Plus, there are pre-show lectures, Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and Sundays at 1 p.m. in the Playhouse lobby. This is a remount production from spring of 2024, y'all, that played to sold-out audiences, so you know it's good. Learn more at fourseasonstheater.com. Tickets are available starting at $25 through the Overture Center box office in person, by phone at 608-258-4141, and at overture.org. Well, we are not giving up on politics just yet. We've got more political news. Jade, you've got the story. What's going on?
Yeah, we are not leaving the Capitol for this one, Bianca. So WisconsinEye Public Affairs Network, or WisCeye, announced last month that they will be going dark due to a lack of funding. WisCeye is basically C-SPAN for Wisconsin government, and it's very unique for a state to have this sort of C-SPAN. In fact, in 2007, when they started, Wisconsin became the first state in the country to have an independent broadcaster, broadcasting news conferences, public hearings, and the like from the Capitol.
Wow, that's kind of wild. Like we're such innovators. We're stealers of ideas. Like you see, span.
It makes sense though. We were the first public radio station. WPR predates NPR. Sorry.
Yes. Bill Simmering was the first program director for NPR, coming from Wisconsin. Okay, Jade, back to you.
I mean, yeah, we care about media. We care about transparency. I think that's a pillar of Wisconsin. So WisCeye is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that is entirely funded by private donations and provides live and archived video coverage of public hearings, news conferences, floor sessions, and more. Are y'all familiar with WisCeye?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As someone who has dabbled in state political coverage, I have watched many a WisCeye productions, and I'm thankful for them because it makes, like you said, Jade, makes everything so much more accessible. I did not realize that they were a nonprofit that was funded fully by private donations. Like, I knew that WisCeye existed, but I guess I didn't really realize all of the players at stake that, made it happen, or I guess the lack thereof, right? So this story is interesting to me because it is pulling the curtain back a little bit more.
And, our Neighbors event, since we were going to be talking about neighbors this Friday News Roundup, we were in the Capitol and we saw like the cameras and where it all happened. So some of y'all neighbors out there, we know that you know WisCeye.
Yeah, and from where I'm standing, WisconsinEye coverage goes way further than just their website or, being at the Capitol and seeing their cameras like we were. But all of their recordings are fair use. So while most Wisconsinites or Madisonians might not actually ever watch a full hearing via the WisCeye website, your state government reporters are certainly spending hours in the archives or watching live videos. I know when I was working in live radio, there were plenty of times where I would be recording the audio as the video was playing in order to use in news broadcasts later that day.
And they're recording for like the state Supreme Court as well. So like it's a public access thing that you can go back and like, oh, actually, this really matters to me. I do want to know what happened in this abortion case.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also a really important resource for state lawmakers and their staff to ensure that the lawmakers are informed on issues that they're passing laws about, right? So there are plenty of times where a public hearing is for a specific committee that a lawmaker doesn't sit on, but they have the resources to then go back and watch that public hearing and see what public comments are on that specific issue. So here's what WisconsinEye is saying about their current position according to their website. Quote, due to funding challenges, WisconsinEye will stop event coverage and video archives will go offline on December 15th, 2025. Programming will resume when adequate funds are contributed to cover the network's 2026 operational budget. So they're looking to raise about $1 million in order to continue operations throughout 2026, or $250,000 for just the first quarter of the year. And this is in part a push because of something that's going on with the 2026 Wisconsin state budget, which is a dollar-for-dollar match up to $10 million in order to build a permanent endowment for WisconsinEye. And so what I mean by this isn't that the state saying, here, we'll fund your operations for 10 years. They're saying, let's build a nest egg of $20 million that can sustain the organization off of basically the interest off that pile of money for years and years and years into the future. They have until June 26th to raise that money, or it's going to go straight back to the state. However, John Hankus, the co-founder, president, and CEO, told WORT's Faye Parks in a recent interview that the struggle is raising that $10 million when they're already struggling to raise even their yearly operational costs. In that interview, he pointed to people donating to politically aligned organizations over truly nonpartisan ones like WisconsinEye. And again, as we were talking about, a lot of times this work by WisconsinEye is unseen by the public. So again, what's at stake on December 15th, which is in 10 days, if they're unable to raise their funds for next year, WisconsinEye is going dark. They're taking their more than 300,000 hours of archived video footage offline, and they won't be recording any more videos.
There's like a big knowledge gap issue here, right? Because like I said, we're all familiar with WisconsinEye, but like I said previously, I didn't realize it was a nonprofit. Like, I have not seen them, and maybe I'm just not on the right list, but I'm on a lot of lists. Like, I have not seen fundraising emails. I have not seen, and I'm not trying to victim blame here, but it's just like, why are we not educating people that this is an important resource? You know, why are we just learning about this now when it could potentially be the final hour for WisconsinEye?
Yeah, I guess maybe part of it is at least, what the director is pointing to, that folks are looking for their own red meat, that they're looking for really politically aligned organizations. And these nonpartisan places are falling to the wayside. It's really fascinating because I wonder if people believe there's a nonpartisan out there anymore. And frankly, they're about as, trying to keep it boring, but to the point, and not taking a side, not making it spicy, maybe not making it sexy. And that is the point. Like, it is just the happenings at the Capitol without any direction. So it is really important. And I'm glad that we're shining a light on it and hope that they can make it, because it is such a resource. Well, that's the news on WisconsinEye. We are going to get into more news. And before we do, though, we're going to take a quick break. Madison Community Foundation works side by side with donors who want to make a positive difference in the place you call home. For more than 80 years, Madison Community Foundation has supported local nonprofits, schools, parks, trails, and cultural spaces, helping ensure Dane County remains vibrant, welcoming, and full of opportunity. With personalized philanthropic guidance, Madison Community Foundation helps donors support the causes that matter most to you. You can focus on issues and causes you care deeply about, establish a donor-advised fund for flexible giving, or create a legacy that continues for generations. Every gift, big or small, strengthens our shared future, and Madison Community Foundation is here to help all donors achieve their charitable goals. Make your gift today. Learn more at madisongives.org/giving. All right, Sky High, jumps. You got jumps. Haley, what is happening in the basketball world? Many have heard. It's upsetting. Maybe.
There are rumblings. Yeah. Are you guys basketball fans? Just to get like a temperature check here?
I only have one tattoo, and it's a basketball number. So that said, I'm also like over 6 feet tall. So everyone assumes that I play basketball. More of a tennis girl. But yeah, I love basketball.
Well, all right. So there's, Bianca, you alluded to it. There's some basketball news happening. The Bucks have been the talk of the basketball world these past few days, but not really for good reasons. The team's star, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is allegedly, I say allegedly strongly here, questioning his future with the team. So what the heck is going on? Well, it's a combination of several things. First off, the Bucks have not been doing well this season, to put it lightly. This week, the Bucks team managed to sneak in a win over the Detroit Pistons, but overall, it's been a really rough season. The Bucks, who, if you guys recall, won the NBA championships back in 2021, have been on a losing streak. And once again, for me, I'm like, oh, 2021, that was last year. They're winners. Why are they bad? But no. Right now, their overall record for the season is 10-13, and that is 10 wins, 13 losses. So not what they would call good. And no one's happy about that, right? Not the managers, not the coach, and definitely not star player Giannis. And Giannis, for what it's worth, too, this is kind of the second factor that's coming up here, has been off the court these past few games dealing with an injury. So he played in this past Wednesday game against Detroit, but left after only a few minutes into the first quarter because he's dealing with some issues with a leg injury. So there's been a lot of talk this week about Giannis's future with the Bucks, because this is where we get a little drama and a little spicy. He scrubbed almost all of his social media of any mention of the team. So how does that move sit with you guys? Because I have a lot of thoughts about that. Jade, I see you making faces.
It's exactly what you do when you have a breakup, right? It's like the amount of times I've been like, oh, are so-and-so still together? And then I'm like, oh, well, he's not on any of her Instagram posts, you know? It's exactly the same move.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. It is very concerning, and it is his social media. And I don't know. Stars do crazy stuff.
People do crazy stuff.
Yeah, but it does seem like something is coming. There's still like some posts up, but yeah, mostly scrubbed.
Yeah, he's got posts up like from that 2021 championship win, because that's what a beautiful memory. You know, why would you want to get rid of that? And like at the end of the day, like Giannis has always been really open about wanting to play at the highest level possible. Like, this guy wants to play and he wants to win. So after a rough start to the season for the Bucks, this injury, and now this social media kerfuffle, folks are really questioning whether he's going to be sticking around in Wisconsin for much longer. Trade talks have been abound, particularly mentioning the New York Knicks. This has been a speculation for a long time. People have been talking about this for the past few months, but for what it's worth, back in October, Giannis himself quashed those rumors and reaffirmed his commitment to the Bucks, you know, saying, hey, I'm here for this team. I'm here for Milwaukee. I want to be in it. But again, he wants to win. This time around, like I said, that was back in October. This time around, only a couple months later, he hasn't done anything like that yet. But before this past Wednesday's game, Coach Doc Rivers said that there have been no talks between team officials and the MVP champ about a potential exit from Milwaukee. But again, a lot of rumors speculating online, ESPN, all of these sports talks saying that, you know, Giannis and team officials have actually been talking about a trade. But again, none of that is confirmed right now. And now the coach is coming out and saying that is actively not true. So for now, it's all just Fleetwood Mac rumors.
You can go your own way. I know
and
some
he
people...
might go his own way.
No, you cannot. You have to stay. One thing that jumps out to me, though, is like he also has been on like the All-Star games for years. Like he was the MVP in 2021. He's been selected as an All-Star like 9 times. And again, this year he's selected as a starter for the 2025 All-Star game. So he gets to be at those heights. He's also so tall. He's already in the heights, but I would like him to stay in Wisconsin. And I've had to adjust. I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of playing ball and all the different arenas that we have to say goodbye to our stars sometimes. And are we hurt by it? Yes, we are. And I like Giannis so much. I don't know. I want him to be free also.
You want what's best for them, right? As a human, I feel like all of us are really just looking at him and being like, do what's best for you and your family, you know, not really considering the sports aspect of it all.
I like really pee people off when I say that, or they're like, no, like it's about winning.
But he's been a big presence in Milwaukee. People really just do feel that affinity for him. And he is just that type of player that he came on the scene, made a big splash, not only in the sport, but in the community. It would be very sad to see him go. But also, like you said, that is ball. That's how it goes, right? I mean, I'm not a basketball player, not since 5th grade. But, you know.
Sometimes you got to pass the ball.
Wow. So true, Jade. So true. So, you know, the Bucks will host Philadelphia in another game tonight. We'll see how that goes. Good luck to everyone involved. And I hope that everyone has a good time.
Get them bucks. Get them bucks. All right. It's time for one of the perks of CityCast Madison membership now. Our team, our squad, our ballers, shot callers. And this is our neighborhood shout outs. Every week, CityCast Madison neighbors get to shout out special people, places, and things in our newsletter. And here on the pod, this week's shout out is from Michelle H. What did Michelle H say?
Michelle H. is shouting out Mimi's Lounge at the Loft in downtown Sun Prairie. She says their newly remodeled space is perfect for private events, and they have all new furniture and comfortable booth seating along the windows and a relaxing lounge with custom couches and chairs. Sounds very fancy. They also host public events like comedy and music, and you can find more information on their website at theloftat132.com. So thank you, Michelle H., for bringing that shout out to us. We love to see it. Shout out to a little bit of Sun Prairie love, because shout outs can be Madison based. They can be Sun Prairie based. We would love them to be as local as possible, but Sun Prairie counts. We like that. Verona, Middleton, Fitchburg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monona. Go off.
I've done yoga in Sun Prairie. I've gone to their athletic club.
Yeah.
We met the Sun Prairie mayor when we were at the BRT launch, which
That's so true. And he was so nice.
He was so nice. I was like, what are you, like the mayor of Sun Prairie? Yes.
Yes, literally yes.
Speaking of nice people, like our neighbors are so nice. Y'all are kind people. You get the vibe. We're all in this together. And gotta say, our final membership campaign of the year starts next week. And we're starting to hype it on the Friday News Roundup because, duh, early bird gets the worm, right, y'all? Like people could sign up to be a neighbor today.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned this at the beginning, Bianca, but this beanie's really slick. Like it's very classy, all black with the white embroidery.
Yeah, it's like white embroidered, says CityCast Madison. It's super cute.
Also, just having an opportunity to like wear our merch and, wrap us on a beanie, or in the past when we have done tote bags. It does so much for us in spreading the word about CityCast Madison. And I know the folks, the folks who are listening right now, like you guys really care about the show, and it does a lot of help to us when you tell people about the show. But when you're repping us just like on the bus or in, the Willie Street Co-op, it does so much to expand who we are being heard by and who knows about us, who has heard of CityCast Madison.
I'm so glad you said that, Jade. It's literally my favorite thing when I see people out in the wild, especially people who like I don't know personally, right? It's different if my friend comes over to my house with a CityCast bag. It's like, thank you for supporting my work because they love me and I love them. But I'll see a stranger out at a coffee shop, out at like Forward or something with a CityCast Madison bag. And I was like, I know that. I do that. That's me. And you like that. And that's really cool. And it just makes me so happy. And it's such a good piece. They're good conversation starters. And also, I mean, like Bianca mentioned, a beanie could not be more practical. That is one thing. I'm not saying I brought this beanie to fruition, but I did talk to our higher ups a few months ago when I was like, hey, I know we're going to have another membership campaign at the end of the year, and I think a beanie would go really hard in the winter time. So manifesting, maybe?
Yes.
So prove Haley right.
Yeah. Prove me right.
Yeah, get the hat for sure. And like, I feel you guys having swag from the things that I love and support, it makes my life better. Like I'm drinking out of a mug that has different brands that I love. And by brands, it's like, NPR. I have our CityCast Madison mug, and I've got, socks that are branded. And I feel more like the comedian whose socks I'm wearing. Like I feel good having these things and knowing I'm supporting and feel supported by them. So y'all become a member today. Be a neighbor. Head to membership.citycast.fm. You can sign up today and you'll be hearing lots more about this all next week because, we're going to round up this year with one more membership campaign and hope that you join us if you haven't. If you have already, thank you. And thank you all for listening. And there's a lot to celebrate. And we're about to have a party because we've done so much on this show already, just 3 years. Haley, you have the event details for our party coming up.
Yes, it's so exciting. One of the perks of membership, becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor, is invites to members-only events. But we are opening the doors to everyone for this one. So, I want to remind you guys, we've said it a couple of times already, but before we say goodbye on this Friday News Roundup, we got to remind everyone, we are throwing a party on December 16th. That is so soon, and we would love to see you there. You don't have to be a member to come, but if you are, you do get a little perk. You'll get a free drink on us if you show up before 7 p.m. We love that. The whole event runs from 6 to 9 p.m., December 16th, at the amazing Gamma Ray Bar in downtown Madison, Wisconsin. So, like Bianca said, we just want to use this time to celebrate all we've accomplished this year and the past few years, and really just share our gratitude with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. Thank you for writing in and leaving us voicemails. And, you know, it's going to be a good time. There'll be snacks, drinks, maybe some karaoke. We're going to get Jade up there to sing her favorite song. I haven't picked out a song yet. Come back to me later. We'll see.
And I will definitely be singing because karaoke
no matter what.
is my heart. Yeah. So if you want to hear this gal sing.
Karaoke or not, Bianca will be singing. And you know what? That's why we love her.
Karaoke. I'm going to do it. I will be doing the karaoke.
I love it. So it's going to be a blast. Like I said, it's super low key. You don't have to be a member. Just bring yourself, show up, say hi to us. Our whole team will be there and we're going to have a lot of fun. If you're subscribed to our newsletter, check your inbox because we've sent out an email with all of this information. And if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, one, go do that now, because why are you not? And two, you can also find the information to RSVP on our Instagram page. That will be in our bio. So we really hope to see you there. And that's all I've got. Party, please have fun. It'll be good time.
It's going to be so fun. Yes. And we had Mr. Kevin Wilmot on the show, and he was like, I've been waiting my whole life to offer someone an exclusive. Gamma Ray gave us the exclusive to interview him about their opening, and it's just so cool. And I also bartended there for the first month, which is really fun. So now I've done all of the jobs. And yeah, it's going to be family vibes. It's going to be friend vibes. It's going to be disco vibes. It's going to be intergalactic vibes. All of the right things are going to be at our party. And that's it. That's a wrap for the week, y'all. Thanks for rounding up the news. How are we feeling rounding out the news and letting people go on to their days?
You're dismissed.
You're dismissed. Haley Sperling.
School's out. Snow day.
Jade Siri Ramos.
Have a great weekend, y'all.
That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm your host, Bianca Martin. We're produced by Jade Siri Ramos with help this week from Selena Say Reynolds and Noah Snyderman. Haley Sperling is our executive producer. Our theme music is by Carl Christensen. Additional music this week by Rue Walker and Philip Ayers from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. And all the kimonos. Rob Thomas is our newsletter editor, with Francisco Kilgore filling in this week. You can get more news delivered right to your inbox by subscribing to Madison Minutes. Don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. And remember, today and through next week, you can get a beanie. If you enjoyed today's show, why not share this podcast with someone who likes ballers? All right, see you back here Monday morning with more news from around the city. Until then, thanks for listening and have a great weekend.